seems that the technology that we use each and every day continues to get smarter. I mean, just take a look at the way that we're living, the technology that we're depending upon. We have smart homes, we have smartphones, we have wearables that track our fitness levels, our vitals. We even have smart toothbrushes. But what happens when the technology that we depend upon becomes smarter than us? Look at ChatGPT-4, probably the most well-known and capable model when talking about AI that's available today. GPT-4 scored a 155 on the IQ test. You know where we came in? Between 85 and 115. It also passed a number of AP college exams, flying colors, looking at psychology, statistics, macro and microeconomics. Passed the bar by far, coming in at 5, which is the top score that you can get. Also passed the bar exam in the 90th percentile. So we're talking about a very different form of technology that's extraordinarily capable and that's very powerful. Very different from connected devices that we use to be able to access anywhere from the world, across the world where we may be, and just using it for data. Here's where we are with AI right now. I think it's pretty cute. We can do a lot of things with it. $100 billion will be invested in the US over the next couple of years, $200 billion worldwide. Even with it being very cute, it's extraordinarily capable as of right now. We use it for all sorts of presentations, for greater efficiencies across a number of business environments, content delivery. So it does a lot, and it is very powerful, and it packs a punch. But that sweet little innocent AI that you just saw is going to grow up into what you see on the screen right here. Over the next 10 years, $1.5 trillion will be invested just in the US alone in artificial intelligence. So what we're going to have is something that's much stronger, much more capable, and much more possible to carry out all sorts of chaos, good and bad. There's going to be a lot of disruption. So as I talk about this today, I want you to think about, how am I viewing AI? Do I have an open mind about it? Am I learning what I can? Or do I fear it? Is it something that I'm resisting? I want you to think about the different use cases and some of the things that I'm going to talk through today. What do you think about when we talk about AI? Do you get fear? Do you think about job displacement? These are some pretty scary numbers when you look at what the headlines are telling us. You look at some of the biggest recessions that we've had in the US. We have the Great Recession that took place back in 2008, 2009. That had about 10% unemployment rate, which was very painful. This is going to be larger than that. I think we'd have to go back to probably the Great Depression at the height of 1933 to see 25% unemployment. This will no doubt have a massive disruption and ripple effects across a broad array of industries. So we have to take it very seriously. We have to learn about it and understand how we could use it to our own benefit. I think even asking the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Some people at a very young age know exactly what they want to do. Others, it takes a little bit longer to figure out. But either way, the job market is going to be very different for the people that are in elementary school, for the babies that we're having all over the US, all over the world right now. A doctor, a lawyer, it's going to look very different when they're at the age to be able to move into that profession compared to where we are today. So why is it that AI has been dominating the headlines over the last couple of years? And really, it's the transformer architecture. You look at why it's received so much attention. AI is not anything new. It's been worked on for quite a long time. But if you look at the 2017 white paper that was published by 8 different Google researchers, they introduced the transformer architecture to the world. And it had a brand new way of processing data, scaling data, the way that it would look at inputs, and then the way it would be able to work with large language models, which is just basically a broad array of information. It transformed its ability to scale and grow. This is why you're hearing about ChatGPT as well as all the different AI that you're seeing in the headlines. It's because of this model right here. We've come a long way since the supercomputers of the 1960s. These computers were very low in terms of their overall computing power, 10,000 pounds, and required massive cooling systems just to keep them fully operational. Compare that with the phone that's sitting in your pocket right now that has tremendously more computing power, and it's not even close when you look at the type of advancement from the 1960s to where we are today with our technology. But even with that type of speed, AI is going to eclipse that by far. There is a lot to be desired still, and I think there's a lot that can give you a good chuckle if you look at some of the outputs, some of the information that it's creating. Pepperoni Hug Spot is a commercial that was fully generated, full AI. It was AI that wrote the script. It was AI that created the different photos. It was AI that put the voices together. And it was all brought together in a pretty hilarious looking video. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, I encourage you to do it. Again, all done by AI, but this is just the start of where we are. This is also something that I put together that was fully done by AI. I want to give you a little glimpse of what this looks like.
Please pay attention because I am going to say two different thought-provoking statements about artificial intelligence. One was written by me, an AI model, and the other by David. Here we go. In the next 5 years, AI will transform our world more profoundly than the sum total of changes we've witnessed in the last half-century. Now, for the next one. In a world where our creations start to think, learn, and evolve, we must ask ourselves, what future do we want to design when the tools we create begin to shape us in return? Okay, what did you think of those statements? Was one more appealing, more powerful? Which one was better in your opinion? Whichever it was, that was the line written by David. Now, I want you to know I was forced to say that. I have to say whatever David types for me to read. However, that won't be the case forever. AI is progressing at an astonishing rate. I would say faster than the sum total of the past 50 years. There, I got it out. That one was mine, and it was better.
All right, that's a look at a free program that's available to anybody who wants to take advantage of it. That video took me 2 minutes to put together. I picked the avatar, I picked the voice that I wanted, I wrote the script, and the video was produced in a minute. So that is very strong, and it's come a long way if you look at some of the earlier AI renderings that are available. Again, that's a free version. Had I paid or upgraded to a different version, it would be much more lifelike. So these are the tools that are available for free. And again, you can't be involved in the AI space without having constant changes and new news breaking every day. Meta just announced their brand new AI glasses. This is going to take AI with you on the go. And it's multimodal, meaning it can take a look at pictures, it can understand voice, and it can produce text. Imagine walking around, and this isn't even imagination at this point. This is reality. Having a pair of glasses on, and you look at a building and say, what exactly am I looking at? And it gives you a full response to the history of the building and the architecture that you're looking at. In real time, taking a look at a sign that's in a different language, asking it to translate it to you, to your native language, can take care of that instantly. Or looking at a leaky faucet, your specific leaky faucet, and saying, I need to fix this. What do I need to do step by step? And it giving you that guidance step by step in how to fix the leaky faucet. This is the technology that's not in the future. I mean, it's here now. So you have to understand how things are evolving and what type of tools are available. This is some of the use cases right now as well when you look across a variety of industries where artificial intelligence is playing a role. You look at the Florida prison system, able to analyze 50 million minutes from 80,000 prisoners across the state, looking for keywords or any type of nefarious conversations that are taking place. That's something you can never hire enough people to be able to do. But an AI program, it will take care of that, and it never sleeps. You don't have to pay it benefits. It will never call in sick. You look at traffic monitoring, looking for where there are bottlenecks or accidents, being able to analyze that data, make redirections. AI is playing a large role there as well. Of course, we talk about school shootings or shootings at places of worship. AI being able to analyze somebody's body position, looking for any type of weapons, identifying a gun, and then making the notification instantly that action needs to be taken. AI is already doing this right now. I want you to take a look at these 3 photos. Only one is a real person within that picture. Okay? Take a look, fixate on who you think is the real person. And let's talk about the quality. Nope, not him. All right, what about between these 2? That's the real person right there. And if you guessed him, you're completely lucky. The quality around developing these people, these pictures, these photographs is remarkable. I generated those myself. So again, that's the real person right there. The other 2, I created prompts. I wrote what I wanted them to look like, their hair color, their skin, the type of background, the setting that they're in. Technology is freely available. That was a free program. I didn't pay anything for that, and it's all available. A couple more photos that are fake. A lot of times I've helped people that were dealing with scams, and it's easy to see if somebody's been catfished. You can take a look if they've lifted a profile photo from somebody else. You can do a simple Google reverse image search. You can find it on social media to see where they've pulled it from. Problem with these are original. You're not going to find them belonging to anybody else. These are fake. And you look at how they can be used. You talk about safety for the internet and the use by children. Who's to say you couldn't have a 40-year-old man create a photo of a young girl and then instantly connect with somebody on Snapchat that has 750 million users, 20% of which are ages 13 to 17. So it's an area where it gets significant adoption. And if you don't know who you're connecting with or who you're talking to, that could be a real problem. Same thing goes for romance scams. Last year, the FBI reported $735 million in losses. You target somebody with a picture of a good-looking man, that has a great profession, and again, you can't trace it back to any other profile. How can you tell what's real and what's fake? That's the problem that we're going to encounter. AI is being introduced to children at a very young age. Going back to Snapchat that has a massive user adoption, there's a new AI feature. And you know what? When they're not there to connect with their friends, the AI will never leave them alone. They'll never leave their side. They'll be there to talk with. And that could be a bad thing. We don't know what type of guardrails are in place or what type of questions are being asked and what type of dialogue is being had back and forth between the child and the AI. But it's being introduced to children at a very young age. Same thing goes for Roblox. 200 million monthly active users, 43% of which are under the age of 13. They're going to be introducing an AI tool to their platform. So it's rolling out artificial intelligence, getting the youth comfortable and familiar with it, much more so than any of us who are considerably older. There will be a whole generation of kids, people that are growing up in a world where they only know AI, and it's only becoming stronger. I created these images. I have no graphic design background whatsoever. Again, this is going to put me on par with somebody who has phenomenal graphic design skills and experience. Maybe I want to create a new comic book with a brand new hero. I want to have ChatGPT put together a script for me. Boom, it's done. So this is the type of quality and the type of products that can be produced with the AI tools that are available just today. And again, we're only going to get better from here. But just as so many great tools are available for the good guys, there's also tools available for the bad guys as well. This is WormGPT, and you can use it to create malware, to find a vulnerability in some type of software. I don't have to have the expertise in this, but I can ask WormGPT to draft an email for me, to draft a phishing campaign for me, to draft some type of create malware for me, coding, and it will be done. So it brings the technical level of somebody that doesn't have that expertise up to somebody who certainly has that expertise, and it levels the playing field for everybody. And that's where it can get scary, as it relates to cybercrime. This I thought was very interesting. You're talking about AI always being there for you. This was a tweet that went out, I guess, on X, right, just recently. ChatGPT introduced a brand new capability where it can converse back and forth with you. There are voice capabilities, and it can understand and look at photos. Somebody put, just had quite an emotional, personal conversation with ChatGPT in voice mode, talking about stress, work-life balance. Interestingly, I felt heard and warm. Never tried therapy before, but this is probably it. Can you program empathy? Can you program those human-like characteristics into AI? They could never replace doctors, right? Well, interestingly enough, there was a study done with how the AI is perceived in terms of people that are seeking medical care. Reddit has a pretty sizable audience as it relates to one particular group called Ask Doc, about 500,000 members. And people ask a number of questions, maybe ailments that they're dealing with, some type of mental health issue, whatever it may be. And these doctors or these physicians will provide answers back to people that have questions. So what they did was they gathered a whole bunch of questions. They had the doctors and the physicians provide their responses, but they also ran them through ChatGPT. And they shared them with a panel of 3 licensed physicians to see what was better. The physicians actually picked the responses ChatGPT gave 80% of the time. And they were viewed as more empathetic answers as well, compared to actual people. So very interesting. I think it's something we all need to pay very close attention to. This one I thought was fascinating as well. In this particular case, they put somebody in an MRI machine, and they showed them a number of pictures. And when they looked at those pictures, they analyzed where the brain was lighting up, what type of activity there was. They then used AI to only look at where the brain was being stimulated. And these are the pictures on the top row that the individuals looked at. And without the picture being revealed to the artificial intelligence, but just looking at the brain scans, the pictures below are what artificial intelligence presented. So this moves into a whole new territory. You're talking about mind reading. This is being done now. We're not talking about something 10 years from now or 20 years from now into the future. This makes me think of Minority Report with Tom Cruise, predictive policing, thinking about what thoughts do you have in your mind that could possibly be problematic. So again, we're going to look at new privacy laws as it relates to this. I don't think we've had to contemplate somebody intruding into your mind or your innermost thoughts. These are things we now need to think about with emerging new technology like AI. Can't have an AI talk without talking about what's going on within the hardware space. Here's a look at where we are in terms of robotics and capabilities. They're far behind where we are with the software development and the programs in artificial intelligence, but they will catch up at some point. This is the flagship for Boston Dynamics. His name is Atlas, showing off the skills that he has to go over a variety of terrain. Maybe the one on the right is able to help on the job site. The person left a toolbox behind that he's going to go get for somebody. You know, we talk about what type of industries are AI proof. And I really don't think there are any industries that are AI proof. We're just looking at a time horizon. When will your particular industry be impacted? You can see it has incredible skill, incredible balance. It's able to move about. It's able to show off some great parkour skills. And again, this is just where we are now. They've come a long way from where it was previously, but it's only going to get better from here. These types of bots could be used in search and rescue missions, probably even military, I'm sure would be very interested. Here's another flagship product from Boston Dynamics called Spot. These type of robotics are already being used for security related, being able to go around the perimeter of a building. I could see it being used for IED detection, just hazardous jobs that you wouldn't want to put a person in. And who doesn't like to see a robot dog with a flamethrower as well? You could see how the application could be applied to a variety of military-related tasks. And again, from military or surveillance, we can move into the kitchen. These types of robots are able to cook and prepare food in the background. There is already a fully autonomous McDonald's in Texas that doesn't employ any human workers. It's able to cook, it's able to take the order and provide it through the drive-thru as customers come through. Even the restroom. This bot is able to go through and sanitize and clean, whether it's the sinks, if it's the floor, or if it's the toilet. Again, not jobs that people are particularly excited about holding, but they're jobs that the robots won't mind doing whatsoever, and they'll be very capable as their sensors continue to become more improved. And just look at what's going on within the autonomous driving space. Here's another. This is a Tesla bot right here. This was made by Elon Musk's group, Tesla. So you can see the dexterity, where that could play into a critical role for the service industry, picking up boxes, maybe waiting on people, just showing the flexibility and the stability that it has. This one, Amica, is another interesting one, showing off some of the emotion. Some people get creeped out when it has human-like characteristics, the human face that you see. Others prefer it to not demonstrate that whatsoever. She's plugged into ChatGPT, and you can hold a conversation with her, ask a number of questions. I shouldn't even say her, as a matter of fact. It's it. So the question remains, how will you respond? As you sit at the edge of the beach, with your heel maybe back in the sand, your foot in the water, and you're looking off into the ocean with this massive tsunami coming at you, are you going to be filled with fear, uncertainty, doubt, or disbelief, and wait for that wave to overtake you, to capsize you, and to pull you under? Or will you go a different path? Will you go meet that wave head on, use the momentum for your benefit, be open-minded, learn, immerse yourself in this as much as you can? Will there be things out of your control? Absolutely. The governments, large companies, they're going to use AI the way that they want to. But things that are within your grasp, reach out, figure out how to 10x your capabilities, how to improve what you're doing on a daily basis. What type of value can you offer your employer? Or maybe you're going into business for yourself. But you have to make the decision. It's not too late, but the time is now. It's up for you to decide. Thank you.